Hi, my name's Rob Scott from UC Today, bringing you the latest news and conversation from the unified communications and collaboration space. So today I'm joined by Brian Gregory, who's the Director of Channel Marketing for Ribbon Communications. And we're going to be discussing how you can enable enterprise voice in Microsoft Teams using Ribbon technology. So welcome, Brian.
Hey, Rob. Good to be here.
Good to see you, Brian. And just before we jump straight in, how about we just do a quick intro? Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do at Ribbon, please.
Sure. I am a Director of Channel Marketing here at Ribbon Communications. I've been at Ribbon for about 5 years, focused mainly in product marketing and now channel marketing for our edge devices, our appliances that support products like Microsoft Teams and unified communication platforms, predominantly in the session border control space. Just to give you a little background about Ribbon, Ribbon is largely an infrastructure company for the communications and transport networks functions. So we support large carriers in the U.S. and globally. We also support a lot of enterprises in their communications infrastructure. About a year ago, we bought a company called ECI, who is a market leader in optical networking and things like IP communications. So that gives us a broad portfolio, both in the communications world, but also the data networking and optical networking capabilities.
Fantastic. And today we're going to be talking about the enterprise and how enterprises are tackling, I suppose, the move to Microsoft Teams Cloud Voice or Microsoft Teams as a phone system. So in terms of those complexities and those challenges that organizations are facing right now, I just wanted to hear from you, if possible, what's dominating the conversation? What kinds of things are, these organizations challenged with?
Well, I tell you what, it's been a very interesting past 12 months with COVID really ramping up a lot of activity around moving from one platform to the next. So I think what you've seen in a lot of enterprises is you had this mass number of employees that started working from home. Tools were needed, collaboration tools were needed to kind of make get work done, right? And I think a lot of enterprises have now looked at that and said, well, hey, I've got this PBX over here. I've got Teams. There's a lot of voice capabilities in Teams. For the vast majority of my users, I may not need that PBX. So how do I kind of roll some of those functionalities into Teams and kind of make that my all-in-one platform? So I think over the last certainly 6 to 9 months, we've seen this massive transition towards Teams, not only as a collaboration platform, but as a voice platform as well. So that's sort of brought in these solutions like particularly Teams Direct Routing, which is has driven a lot of activity for us. We are part of that Microsoft ecosystem in that we have a session border controller, which is both cloud-based and premises-based. That's basically a requirement for all Teams deployments for folks that are doing direct routing. So we've seen a tremendous amount of activity in companies looking to move into Teams for their voice infrastructure, and us providing that network security, that voice security platform that a session border controller would provide their network.
Great, thanks for that. And when I think about SBCs or session border controllers, I always think of like a Swiss Army knife because they can do so many different things, and I often hear them being used in all different ways to solve all different kinds of problems. So could we just jump through, some of those big challenges for enterprises that you would say are kind of top of the list right now? You mentioned security then, but what else are organizations faced with?
Yeah, I mean, relative to security is a very front and center topic. I mean, there is major security. If we go to things like SolarWinds that happened last year, there is a lot, just every day you almost hear about something where there's some sort of security element, and it's kind of a constant cat and mouse battle between the bad guys in order to keep fraud and security issues out of their network. So a session border, I think traditionally session border controllers certainly are thought of as a firewall for the voice network. But, I think what it's those, the things that it can do is sort of protect, it is an element that can protect your network from other network elements. It creates that sort of security barrier. But I think what we've discovered over the last, I don't know, maybe year or so is that, bad guys are looking for any mechanism to get inside your network. And if that happens to be through the voice network and that gets them into other parts of your network, that's a major threat. So, the SBC is greatly evolved to be kind of to work in tandem with other security elements within an enterprise to make sure that the voice network isn't a weakness by which fraudsters or other malicious attacks can't happen through that voice network into other elements of the network. So that's really where things have evolved, and why people are really making sure that SBC is tried and true, and it is a trusted element in their network.
So that's a popular use case, security. And another use case for an SBC would be connecting maybe a PBX, a conventional PBX into the world of Microsoft Teams. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, in fact, certainly just a regular SBC is a popular way to sort of manage that user community from one environment to the next, and making that sort of thoughtful transition. But one of the products that we've launched recently, which is really designed to make that transition a lot easier, is a product we call Ribbon Connect, and it's a cloud-based software as a service product, and really its major benefit is to have the PBX act as the phone system for Teams. And what you typically happen in organizations, you have you like to get to Teams for voice. There's a lot of good reasons for that. Cost, efficiencies, things like that. Ribbon Connect kind of rides in the middle, if you will, right? You have your PBX on one side, you have Teams on the other side. Ribbon Connect creates that glue by which you can use your phone system, your PBX, for voice functions in Teams, and then sort of thoughtfully transition those users over time. You might find that you have some users that can never leave that PBX, right? Maybe they're in the contact center. Maybe they require customized functions, hunt groups, or what have you, that you really can't move over to Teams. Well, those folks can stay on the PBX, can stay in using Ribbon Connect. They can connect to the rest of the dial plan or the enterprise environment that may have already completely transitioned to Teams. So it's a great solution to kind of thoughtfully make that transition. Maybe you move all your users over to Teams. Maybe you move a subset over to Teams. But Connect can really be that middle area where the whole environment can be united, if you will.
And just talk me through the compatibility there. So you mentioned you're the kind of glue in the middle. When we talk about PBX, there must be 50 different types of PBXs out there.
Sure.
Could you connect to all different types?
Absolutely. So it's designed to work with all major. I think we have something like 40 different PBX manufacturers and various models within that those companies' portfolio. So yeah, it really will work with virtually every major PBX platform, and again, allow those users to use that existing PBX functionality within Teams. So it's a very seamless experience within Teams. You think about the work from home employee, right? You have calls going to the desk phone that are not getting answered because they just don't know that they're being routed there. So now that a product like Connect enables that those calls to be answered through the Teams native dialer that may currently be going to the PBX.
Yeah, which is fantastic. Yeah, I can see the benefit of that, and I'm sure the other 100 and odd so million users in the world right now as well.
Right.
So, in terms of how you deliver Ribbon Connect, is this software as a service? Is it delivered from the cloud? How does it work?
Yeah, it's a completely cloud-based solution. We really designed it as you only pay for it's a monthly recurring cost only for the users that are on Ribbon Connect. So there's no contract. You're not paying for the total number of users, only the ones using Connect. So it's very, very cost efficient in terms of both making that transition, maybe putting subsets of users on it, but you're only really paying for the users that are using the service.
Fantastic. And just in terms of implementation, finally, I just want to talk about kind of that part, and what top tips would you give? Whether you be a Microsoft partner or an end customer IT admin, getting involved in this migration or move. What would you say to look out for?
Well, it's transitions are always a challenge. This product is actually only sold through our channel partners. So if you're interested, certainly we can get you more information on how you might sell Ribbon Connect to your partners. We don't sell it directly; we sell only 100% through the channel. So the challenge is that I think I think of it as sort of a stranded asset problem, right? You have the worst thing you can have from an IT administration perspective is, an asset where you've spent a bunch of money on, say, a phone network that you're looking to move perhaps from one to the next, and how you kind of thoughtfully make that transition. And it can be really challenging to tell everybody, oh, by the way, you're no longer on this platform, you're on that platform. Fortunately, we've had this work from home wave that have sort of forced people into learning a new system, so they're comfortable with it. So, transition has been, at least from a user education perspective, has been made a lot easier by, the sort of the upheaval of working from home. So, it's just, you look for the tools out there that make that transition as easy as possible. And I think Ribbon Connect is certainly one of those tools.
Yeah, it's good, because I can see, lots of different parts and services involved, but ultimately Ribbon Connect brings it all together and makes that kind of implementation a lot easier by the sounds of things.
Exactly.
Great stuff. And so for anyone looking to find out more about Ribbon Connect, what's the best way to get in touch?
Well, you can head to our website. You can go to ribboncommunications.com, or more short is rbbn.com, and migrate over to head over to our Microsoft section on the website, and you can get a lot of details on our products and services. And if you're a channel partner, we also have information there on how you might be a reseller of Ribbon solutions.
Hey, Brian, thanks for talking me through things today, and we'll put some links in the description too, but really good to speak to you. Thanks so much for joining me.
Rob, thanks so much. It was a great conversation. Really enjoyed the time talking with you today.
And that's it from us. And if you've enjoyed today's session, please subscribe to UC Today News and give this video a quick share on social, as it's always appreciated. And if you're a UC fan and want to be part of the conversation, you can join us using the UC News hashtag on LinkedIn, Twitter and Facebook, and our social links are also in the description. So I'm Rob Scott from UC Today. Thanks for watching.